During my stay here as a visiting fellow at the Institute in Cambridge, I am in fact working on something I'm also teaching in Tel Aviv, and that is medieval fatwas, legal opinions about contacts between Muslims and Jews, and to some extent also Christians. And I think it has always been relevant because of the similarity between the two religions, and I think it is relevant especially today because of the profound suspicion that Muslims and Jews harbour towards each other. And suspicion is often based on ignorance and prejudice. And I think as academics who study the field of Muslim-Jewish relations, one of our tasks should be to provide reliable information and to get rid of the prejudice. I think it's very important for Muslims and Jews to realize how similar their religions actually are. Of course, there are differences, but similarities are actually greater than the differences. And if we look at Islamic law, Jewish halakha, ritual practice, prayer, etc., you do see that there's a lot of things in common there that people are often unaware of. And I see that, for example, in my classes in Tel Aviv, that when I teach Islamic law, my Jewish students are often really amazed at the similarity between Judaism and Islam, and it's quite an eye-opener for them. Recently I've been co-editing 2 volumes which touch upon relations between Muslims and Jews. One is A Common Rationality, Mu'tazilism in Judaism and Islam. That basically deals with the Mu'tazila, as the title says. And Mu'tazila was a current of rationalist theology within Islam in the Middle Ages, and it had a profound influence not only in Islam itself but also on rational theologians in Judaism, among the Samaritans, and also among the Christians. The second book is more of a polemical nature, Contacts and Controversies. It's a collection of articles dealing mainly with polemical texts, texts that were written by Muslim authors against Judaism. What is interesting is that the majority of these texts were actually written by converts from Judaism to Islam, and these converts, as happens very often, seek to explain or defend their conversion by writing a tract in which they describe how they saw the light, how they became Muslims, and how they realized the error of their previous religion. Now, the term fatwa has all kinds of negative connotations nowadays because it's often associated with the fatwa issued by Khomeini against Salman Rushdie, for example, and therefore the meaning of fatwa is often construed to be something like death sentence. A fatwa is not a death sentence. A fatwa is an opinion issued by a legal scholar on any kind of topic related to aspects of Islamic practice. You could compare it with responsa in Judaism, for example, a legal opinion issued by a rabbi, and that can concern dietary law, ritual purity, any kind of topic that the believers feel insecure about or which they want to be enlightened about by a legal scholar. Now, of course, when I say legal scholar and legal opinion, we in the West tend to think about the law as something very limited, but we shouldn't forget that in both Judaism and Islam, the law basically touches upon all aspects of day-to-day life. It is important to actually know the languages. I would advise anyone who would want to make a closer study of religion, of relations between Muslims and Jews, to learn Arabic properly, learn Hebrew properly, because the language is the key to the culture, to the religion, to the literature, and you cannot properly, I think, understand the depth of the relations and the magnitude of the similarities between the two religions unless you actually know the languages. And especially since in the Middle Ages and in most of the Middle East, Jews were using Arabic as their day-to-day language and also as their literary language. I think it is very important that there be such an institute that promotes the academic study of relations between Muslims and Jews throughout the ages, and not just the modern period. In my own research, I am almost exclusively working on the medieval period with some forays into the Ottoman period. So I would like to see that as well, so the academic study of relations between Judaism and Islam from the very beginning to the medieval period. Cambridge is an ideal place for the study of Muslim-Jewish relations, among other things because of the Geniza collections here in the library. And coming back to my previous point about the importance of Arabic, of course, huge numbers of these Geniza documents are in Arabic, admittedly written in Hebrew characters, so in Judeo-Arabic, but it's still Arabic, it's not Hebrew. Of course, there's lots of Hebrew documents as well, but the importance of this rich source, which reveals so much about Jewish life in what is nowadays more often called an Islamicate world, is incredibly important. So I think the fact that the Institute is based here, the Centre for the Study of Muslim-Jewish Relations, is based here in Cambridge can only be to its advantage. And I hope that the centre would also promote Geniza studies, the use of the Geniza by its fellows and scholars.